All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, guys and gals. Welcome back. Let's go. Thank you for your patience. Oh, yes. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate every single one of you so much. You have no idea. I'm going to throw it out there quickly, you guys. Subscribers. Just hold up. I'm just gonna do it anyways and hope for the best here. I wanted to check the stream, but let's go, you guys. Come on, get organized today, Jenny. Get organized today. Okay, here we go. This is for you guys and gals, subscribers of the channel, viewers, those of you that are watching now, those of you that are watching the live, and those of you that are watching when I'm not live. Every single one of you, you're awesome. Let's go. Throwing it out there for you. That's right, that's right, that's right. That's for you guys and gals, every single one of you. I guess I just want to quickly, apologize to those of you that were watching the last live stream and I cut it short in that. Thank you guys for your patience, and if you're back, you're awesome. It's because I'm trying to keep the videos not going too long, and I'd already been a half an hour into it, and part of it was kind of like how to install and how to set up and that, so I just decided at the last second I'm going to turn it into kind of an inspiration support video, if you will, and I wanted to do the game creating and that, just dedicated the video that is, I just wanted the video to be dedicated to 3D game creation, right? I didn't want to waste, half an hour of you guys' time just talking about support and that. But I also wanted to throw it out there, support you guys and inspire you guys. If you have a dream, a vision of, whether it's getting into coding or creating your own game, whether it be a 2D game or a 2.5D or a 3D game, learning how to do your own digital art and all those things. Again, I support every single one of you guys and gals in your dream. Again, don't listen to those that are trying to keep you down, that say that you can't, because you can. Yes, you can. Again, when you do it and you follow your dreams and aspirations, just make sure you're not starving, okay? Just make sure you're not starving. And food in the fridge and the bills are being paid, and you can follow whatever dream you want. Let's go! All right. Time to get into this. Got too much going up here. Am I done with chat here? Yes. Trying to do chat quickly. Again, on my own mod here, guys, so trying to keep chat busy. I'm gonna have to sign into my chat bot or my OBS and get my chat bot working again, but no worries. Okay, need some noise. Yes, here it is. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, let's get right into this. This time we're getting straight into it. Okay, we're not talking about how to install, how to set up. I'm trying to give you guys that kind of support as well, but I, want to kind of dedicate each video to, just creating, right? We want to get right into it. Okay, hopefully you got everything set up. You're gonna need Visual Studio as well, guys. Okay, I got 2022. Again, thanks. You guys gotta thank Krita. You have to throw out huge thanks to Krita. Open source software for us creators, guys. You know, they're thinking of us little guys. You know, they're awesome, every single one of them. So support them. Show the love. Krita, same thing with Visual Studio 2022, Microsoft. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of, you know, Microsoft, but you know what? Dedicate throw out your commitment and throw out your love for the Visual Studio software. How about that? Okay, and the same thing with Unity. The people are great people, the fine people at Unity, same thing. But I'm just not gonna let the commercial cringe me. Unfortunately, that happens. Okay, yeah, show the love, guys. Okay, except for the bank. The bank, show me the money, bank. Okay, you're always taking, you're never giving. All right, back at this. I could overwrite that song. That's the great thing about YouTube. I could overwrite the commercial with music. I love it. Okay, so we're working with Unity Technologies, guys. Software I'm using again, I'll throw it out there. Unity version 2022.3.53 F1. That is what I'm using. Check out the prior video if you want to learn how to set up and that. We're already set up. I'm using ERP, and I'm gonna just keep it short. Trying to use the KISS method here. We need to get right into creating. That's what we want to do, guys, right? That's why you're here. You want to see some creating going on. Let's go. I want to do the same thing, right? I do. This is fun. I truly enjoy doing it. Excuse me. Okay, there's a link in my description, learn.unity.com. The fine people over there, they have little projects and practices and challenges and such going on over there. So I'm doing these for you guys in case maybe, you know, you're out there trying to do these challenges or these projects yourself, and maybe you're coming across difficulties and something's not working. That's why I'm doing this, so I could, you know, have this, so that there's content out there for you guys and gals, so that you know, have a, you know, a solution to your problem. All right, I'm going to do my best. Try my best. All right, turn it up. Okay, so we are doing the sound and effects Unit 3 project. Sound and effects, it's called. It's part of the course, Create with Code. And so on there, they'll have a link for a Prototype 3 starter file that you're going to need. Okay, guys? So download that to your your downloads folder. I moved mine to my own separate, like, dedicated you know, hard drive and that for my projects. And I have a starter.zips and 2D projects and starter files, and then the one we're working on, I know that's kind of going deep into levels. Is that the word, levels? Yes, levels, that'll work. So Prototype 3 starter files. Okay, obviously I've been already working on some of the other ones, but you know, yeah, I'm enjoying it, and that's part of the learning. So the first thing we need to do, guys, okay, we need to import the Unity package. You have it downloaded, right? You're gonna have to unzip it, okay? Put it, again, file management, that's another video on its own, talking about file management. Just get organized, with have a decent file system set up in your file explorer, guys. Be organized. That's my, advice for you. And yeah, so again, when you download it to your downloads, just move it, cut the file and move it to a different location, right? You could even have it backed up somewhere, right? Have a backup hard drive as well. You guys, you just never know. You should always have it backed up. Okay? Alright, so from the top menu in Unity, okay? Top menu in Unity, this is it. Select assets, okay? Then go to import package. Import package. Custom package is what we are going to install, okay? So go to your folder, right, obviously. And we're gonna go in here, it's a 3D project, it's not 2D. And there we go. Keep going in until you see this icon, guys, okay? That's what it looks like. All right, and then just import the starter files. All right, let's go. We'll get a pop-up. Again, you could select and deselect. I mean, you could kind of pick and choose, but whatever. I know eventually I'm just going to delete, this project. But for you guys, we're doing this. I've already got this kind of set up, so I don't need to, keep duplicates of everything, right? So, but for you guys, we're going to do this. Let's go! Okay, so next thing you do is import. Alright, so you'll get a bunch of stuff down here in your project. This is your file explorer, essentially. Okay, animation, It's only a yellow warning. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So some of the animations, something to do with the animations. IK, man, I'm just trying to think of the acronym for that. IK, this all obviously has to do with animations. We're gonna be doing that, you guys, with this project. So again, if you're part of the channel and you're watching the videos and the content and you really are enjoying it, definitely stay tuned, right? So we're gonna get into doing animations. Not today. I don't want to talk about it now, but we're gonna get into doing it. Okay. So stay tuned. Look forward. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff coming up. All right. I'm just gonna ignore those for now. Now, because I just imported a package, right? Guys, I imported a custom package. Now, things that you have to know, okay, when you're learning all this, right? Again, remember when I was talking about render pipelines? Okay, so when you initially create a project, it's a built-in render pipeline, okay? We'll just call that the original render pipeline, okay? And so what I've done is kind of technically upgraded the render pipeline. I've upgraded it to, I'll just show you here quickly. I know in the last video I already showed you this, but right there, okay? I'm not going to go through the steps. I believe I do have a video dedicated to how to install the universal render pipeline, so check it out. All right, guys, this video I need to stay focused and stay on track and just kind of get right into the project. Okay, so little things that we have to be aware of, right? So when we create, when UI creates a new project, okay, It's going to be the built-in render pipeline. Okay, guys? That's the original. All right, just as a heads up. So when you actually get it all installed, okay, when you get it all installed, right, this tells me it's installed because it says remove, right? So now I'm going to go into my project settings, and then I just actually, I know I've already done this, but so I created a folder called rendering, and I've created these. Okay, again, check out the video on how to set up. I'm not going to get into that now. Okay, guys, please, I love you. Thank you for understanding. I'm just trying to stay focused here. Okay, so, and then of course, then when you get into here, you also have to do things here, right? So I have it set up, my graphics universal render pipeline. Okay, and that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that, okay, without over explaining. So the reason I talked about that is because I see these pink images. Okay, now I could select them all. I guess it's not going to harm anything if I do it all over again, but I want to get rid of all these pink or purpley. So these are all part of the built-in render. Okay, these are built-in render materials. Okay, that's why they're this color, because I've kind of technically upgraded the render pipeline, guys. So they're showing here as pink. These are part of the built-in. All right, so I mean, I could just select them all. I've already kind of done the ones already that you see here, but we got to convert them. Essentially, that's what we're doing. Okay, we got to convert them to the universal. I'm just trying to recall here. It's not this way. There are different ways of doing this. Just follow along, guys. I'll find it here quickly somewhere. Here we go. Edit, rendering, materials. There we go. Okay, right here. This is what we got to do. So what I did, guys, is I just clicked them all. I only really need to do these ones, but I don't think it's going to harm. The system, I think, is just going to convert the ones that are not converted. I'm assuming. I don't know what's happening in the background when I do this, so I'm just going to select them all and then do it all. Convert selected built-in materials, which are the pinkish purpley ones, to URP. Okay, there we go. Boom, let's go. Big yays. All right, that's what we need. Okay, got to get rid of that. So now we got our materials. Everything's good. Okay, we're golden. All right, next thing we got to do is go to scenes. Okay, so when we imported, guys, our assets, when we did this, okay, we got two scenes here. Right now we're in this scene. Okay, so, but I'm going to double click this one. Should be just fine if I double click it. There we go. Boom. Yay. Let's go. So we don't want two scenes. Okay, so we're going to just, I'm going to hold shift. It's just something I'm used to doing with File Explorer. Shift and delete. We're going to delete the sample scene. All right, we don't need it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so zooming and panning around, guys, I kind of get messed up because when I'm working with Krita's way of zooming and panning around is a little bit different. Not just, Krita, yeah, zooming in and out and just doing digital art. It's a little bit different, so you got to kind of train your brain and go, oh my God. So what I'm doing is I'm right-clicking the mouse and just using my WASD keys. Okay, I don't mean to get you all dizzy and stuff, but that's what you do. Okay. All right, so we've done that. That's the first thing. So another thing I like to do is kind of set up my camera, and I want to get rid of this pinkish color. Okay, so this is part of the. This is like a plane. Yeah, it's a plain mesh filter. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, there's really no thickness or depth to it. It's just a flat plane. Essentially, it's got some thickness, but not much, right? I don't know if there's a size, but it's scaled 5 times in the X, right? So if I actually change that back to 1, there you go. That's the size of it when it's originally created. Okay? Scaling, that's what you're doing, guys. Okay? So we scaled it 5 times, essentially, based on the middle here. Okay, so not gonna talk about, it's a mesh plane. Really, that's all it is. It's just a 2D mesh. Meshes are used for creating characters, like even the 3D characters and that. Something eventually I want to get into. Again, things I've been talking about. I've been obviously working on digital art. I'm kind of on the fence between doing 2D work or 3D work. I don't know if you guys want to drop comments and let me know what you want to see more of. I know there was a guy who wanted me to talk about HDRP and creating cinematic stuff. Like, we're gonna get there one day, just not today, because I have other ideas and plans right now. So a lot of different things in my mind that is going on that I want to do. So, but in regards to doing 2D live streams or 3D live streams, let me know what you want to see more of, right? Maybe help me kind of figure out which way I should be going with this, right? To be fair, I don't mind learning, digital art and 2D gaming and creating 2D games or even 3D games. I don't mind. Obviously, in the past, I've already done a 3D world. If you check out my terrain stuff, or even I think Prototype 2, I created a 3D world just for the game we were working on, just for funsies. I did that for fun. Okay, so what I want to do here is, and you guys are awesome that are watching. Appreciate you so much. Okay, so you can change the material, because I don't know why it's showing up as pinkish here, but that kind of irks me a little bit. I don't want it, so we're gonna change it. Okay, so right here. So I've got it selected. We're in the inspector tab. So help you with learning how to use Unity a little bit more. That's what I'm trying to do for you guys, right? There's a lot of channels out there. They just show and they do and they create, but they don't explain, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pick, I don't know, something like this. I'm gonna go with this sprite default. I mean, I could go with this. I could, but I want to find something that looks like concrete. Essentially, I could use the characters kind of tiles, essentially. That's what this all is, guys. Okay, but we're gonna keep it clean and simple. I don't see any other ones. Sprites default diffuse, default line. We're just gonna go with default line. Okay, there we go. Now, what's gonna happen when we click play? I don't know what's up. So we have a main camera, okay, which I'm gonna set up now. I already have camera setup settings. Camera. Where are you? I wrote down the settings here. Oh, maybe I took a screenshot of it. That's what I might have done. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Trying to be quick here for you. Okay, I'm going to leave it on this background too, because you can change that as well. The people at Unity, they're awesome. They give you, a lot of the materials and such that you're going to need for the project, right? So it's pretty awesome. A lot of the work's kind of already done for you, right? I'm looking for, just bear with me here, guys. I need my camera settings here. Camera settings. Instead of writing it down, I took a screenshot. So I want it at this position, 4 and -15. That's fine. Did I change? That's the only value I changed. 0. I want to research into this a little bit more. You could also change the field of view as well, guys. Okay, I think that's the only setting. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I changed. Okay. All right. Well, note to self. That's all I changed. Okay. Oh. And here. All right. Okay. Let's get back on track. So just run this. Have a quick look. There we go. Not much going on, but we got a background and a ground, right? Be nice if this was like a concrete material or something. That's okay. We don't have any concrete materials, so ground. That's the ground, right? So unfortunately, we don't have anything like that. I mean, you would have to kind of create your own. That's invisible. That's an invisible ground, right? Essentially, that's what that would be. I mean, it would kind of work, I think. I'm gonna test it out. That's actually kind of cool, to be honest. I want to test it out once we import the character and such. Okay, so there we go. Those are the first steps. Okay, guys? All right, that's kind of what we have. Same thing with background. We could actually go here and change. Okay, they're called sprites. What's here that you guys see is essentially I'm trying to think what they used to create it. It's a tile background. I know I started kind of getting into that, but I'm gonna do some more research on that, guys. I don't want to give you the incorrect information, but I'll try to do a video on setting up your own background. Okay, this is already set up, so we're not gonna worry about that. Directional light is here. We have directional lights. That's the position, so we're just gonna roll with it. That's probably might be what you're seeing down here partly as well. And background. So background, random location. So again, sprites. That's what you're seeing there visually as an image is a sprite. Somebody spent time creating and drawing this, right? Which is kind of cool, to be honest. I'm going to kind of zoom in here and just see if we can see some detail. Not really a lot, but it looks like it's all done by pixels. So, but that is, I don't know what the size is, but the size of that I've been using so far, just to give you guys and gals an idea. I have the information in here somewhere. Sprite sheets. What have I been using? I've been using size. I don't want to bring up Krita in that just to look. Oh goodness gracious. Where is that? Where can I find the information? In here maybe. Backgrounds. For width, 2048. That's what it is. 2048 by 342. So pixels. I'll put that in chat quickly. 2048 by 342. And there is another size. That's for backgrounds. Okay, backgrounds. Background sprite, if you will, I guess. I'm just going to leave it as backgrounds. Good enough. Okay, so and then there's another size too, which I've been kind of using for 2832. 2832. Which I've been using for the sky and such, because with 2D animation, guys, there's this thing called a parallax effect. So you kind of have to create your own separate layers. This is one singular image. So, but when you get into like wanting to do parallax effects, you're actually doing images on different layers. So you'll do the trees maybe on one layer, and then you'll do the buildings on another layer, and then you'll have another layer for the color of the sky, and then you'll have another layer. So you're actually creating how do I say it? Like for each Krita project that you're working on, you're doing one project for one layer. So I'm just trying to say this, you know, to be as clear and, you know, as simple as possible. So one project would be for the buildings. I mean, you could do one for each building, I guess. I don't know if you'd want to. You don't want too many layers. Usually they're about 1 to 7 layers. Buildings, you'll have like a close layer, then you'll have a ground layer. I'll try to do a video on that for you guys in the future, okay? Again, just bear with me. I'm gonna get to it eventually. It's kind of balancing wanting to work myself and creating and doing these for you guys as well, which I rather truly enjoy, especially for you guys that are watching. Those of you that are committed, like, man, you guys are the reason I'm doing this. Otherwise I wouldn't care. I just work, right? But I love doing this for you guys. I really do. Okay, I need some more coffee. Need some noise. All right, let's continue, okay? So yeah, again, each layer, you could have a cloud layer, you could have a sky layer, you could have a background layer, you could have like a mid background layer, you could have a close background layer, you'll have a ground layer. I don't, you guys might not know what I mean, but you'll have a ground layer. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, that's essentially what you would be doing, just so you have a parallax effect, right? Again, what I say here is this is just one singular image with everything. It's got the sky, it's got the clouds, it's got everything, right? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully that makes sense, and I didn't, I don't know. Let's just keep going. Okay, so we've done that. Choose and set up a player character. Okay, let's do that. All right, so normally what I'll do, guys, is I will keep pressing the wrong buttons for panning and moving around. So I'll create an empty. Okay, this is called a game object. All right, guys. So essentially a game object, just think of it as a container, a place for storing items, okay? And just look at it as the terms that are usually used are called parent and child, okay? So the game object I'm creating is called the parent, right? Because it's the first one. I'm going to give it a name. We're going to call it characters, or I could call it just character, right? Or characters, right? I could rename it and call it whatever I want. Okay, so put it in position. Now, here's the thing, guys. Get your game objects set up where you want them. Okay? I'm just trying to think. Where did I... Characters. Okay, good. I do have a location. So I'm going to change my location here. Okay? I have the values. It put it at some weird numbers, but I don't want weird numbers. Okay? I've already got this set up. There we go. That's where I want it. So position your... Why do you look like you're there? What's your location? Okay. I didn't compare that to the other project I was working on. That might have been the original, actually, but I don't know. Go in here, characters. For some reason it's on this side. Let me just get a bearing here. So these are all positive values. Now if I take that, go like this, that's still positive. Okay, is that where I want it? It's interesting, quite interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at 3 for now. Okay, we'll see what happens. All right, that's my container. Whenever you move the parent around, whatever's inside is going to move with it. So any item that you put inside this container is going to have the coordinates 0, 0, 0. Okay, so let's bring in a character now. Okay, I don't know why. I think that's the spot I wanted at. I don't recall. All right, so in your course library, guys, so we're going to go down to project here. This is our file system. Okay, inside here, the awesome people at Unity, learn.unity, have given us, already preset prefab characters, if you will. Now I called this businessman, so we're going with businessman, and I'm just gonna drag and drop him inside there. Okay, he's the wrong rotation, so we're gonna change the rotation. Okay, he's going into the convenience store. Guys, he must be thinking of Slurpees. Is it summer yet, guys? Hey, Larry, you're on a set, buddy. You're on a set, okay? Just letting you know, that's not a real 7-Eleven, all right? Okay, guy? All right, just letting you know. Let's rotate Larry. You gotta rotate him on the vertical, okay, guys? So imagine you're spinning a top, okay? You're spinning a top, okay? Positive would be going to the right. There we go. Rotate him 90 degrees. There we go. Larry. I don't know what Larry's doing, man. Larry. Silly Larry. Okay, let me see. Again, see? His position 0, 0, 0. He's relative to the game, to the game object. Okay? We're calling him player. Alright? That's good enough. Alright, but I think I have to move this a little bit. We're going to move this to the center line of that. So, oh good, that's at 0. That's where it should be. Perfect. I don't know what was up earlier, but yeah, that's where Larry needs to be, right there. Okay, good. Let's have a look. Alright, perfect. Looking good so far. If I click camera, I have a little image here, which is nice to see kind of the setup too. You could you could click the game scene. It's another way of doing it. I'm just getting used to hit and play a lot, so I don't know. Just want to play all the time, I guess. Okay, so you could go through between these two tabs. This is your working. scene is where you're working in, game is just to have a quick look. So again, you could either look here, just click main camera, or click this game tab. All right. So we've done that. Okay, now we have to attach. We have to. So we'll talk a little bit about, obviously in life there's this thing called gravity, right, guys? Okay, so we have to. I created an empty called characters. We've done that. We've got our player in. We've positioned him. We've rotated him. We are going to do an obstacle, but not right now. I guess I could, but we'll finish with our player here. So what we need to do is we need to attach some items to him so that he is affected or has an effect, or so our player is affected by physics, the physics engine, part of Unity. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, so I click player. Again, here's some advice, guys. I wrote some notes down here. I'm just kind of trying to look at my notes, but again, my notes are like 10 miles long like usual. Where did I put those notes? I don't know, whatever, but I do know what I was just gonna read off of them, but I already know what I'm kind of talking about, kind of. Okay. Wow, I had it in my head and now it's gone. It's amazing. So let's just do this, okay? Of course, I'm spending time trying to think of where that is and just threw myself off. First thing we need to do is attach a rigid body. Okay, this is part of physics. Okay. Oh yeah. Now I remember. Okay. So guys, when you create your game empty, okay, you'll see some other creators. They'll put the items with the parents. Okay. Now I think that is gonna have effect with your code behind. So I'm gonna try two things out because I've actually I've been through the project already, and I've already come across some difficulties or some challenges or things that need to be done so that they're corrected. Not saying anything bad about Unity or anything, because I love this, that I'm able to do this. But I've come across some complications, so stay tuned, do follow along. I'm going to throw in, when I actually get to it, I'm going to throw in how to fix some fixes, okay, some code behind fixes, and I'm going to give you guys also tips and tricks, okay, little things to do, because just like anything, you kind of have to do things in an order of operations. It's a little bit finicky, if you will, okay? So when you, again, so I'm going to get back to this. So you create your empty, right? And then we added in our player, which is our child. So attach the items to the child, especially with the player, okay? So we're going to do something else quickly, just so I don't forget. Up here we can tag. Okay, I've already created a player tag. Okay, so you can do that, guys. You can add a tag, right? The list is empty. You just click the plus sign, and we can add tags, right? So, for example, I'll just do one. I don't think we're going to need it, but I'll do one anyways. One called ground, okay? Now, to get out of this, you just, I don't know, it's just a matter of clicking in the hierarchy again. Okay, so I created a tag called ground. It should be in here. There it is. Okay, but our tag is player. Okay, player. And layers will be something else we'll talk about another time, but we don't really have to worry about that this project. Okay, so our player already has an animator attached to it. We're gonna need this. Okay, some of it's already, we've already got a controller attached to it. This is part of the animation. Okay, that's going to be coming in a future video, guys. So just so you know, the information's there, and just as a heads up, this is required for the player so the player can have animation. All right, eventually we're going to get into that. Do we have to actually do this kind of? I don't know if we need to, but we haven't really done anything, but whatever. I'm just gonna apply it anyways. Lighting, missing lighting. I'm gonna create a new one here. Okay, can I edit that? Let's edit it. Lighting's not really part of rendering, but what would on a scene, on a set, what would that be called? What is lighting? Maybe they have a technical name for it. Gaffers? Yeah. Gaffers. See, I knew there was a name for it, so I'm just gonna create a new folder called Gaffer. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just gonna drag and drop it in there. Okay, that's our Gaffer. Okay, cool, huh? Part of our lighting settings. Just wanted to do that quickly. I knew there was a technical name for it. Okay. So getting back to our player, I'm just going over the little details and stuff. We need to add some components so that he can be affected by gravity. So as you notice, right, he's actually on a visible ground here. There's nothing holding him up, guys. Okay? But because he doesn't have anything attached to him yet, he can still stand there. So gravity has, the physics engine of Unity doesn't have an effect on him yet. Okay? But as soon as we attach items to him, he will. Okay, what do I do first? Does it really matter? I don't think it does. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we'll just attach a rigid body first. Okay, I'm just gonna type rig. Okay, again, we're working on in 3D environment, guys. Okay, make sure you click the one that that doesn't say 2D. Okay, because obviously that's for 2D. Okay, so check this out. So use gravity. Watch what happens as soon as I press this. Turn it on. Okay. Larry, where you going, Larry? He's got nothing to stand on. Larry. Okay, he's floating in air, and now we need a box collider as well. Okay, I don't think there's anything we need to change here, but we need to change some constraints here, because I know based on the physics we're going to need to do that. Where's that? Is that all here? Maybe. Player. Okay, I did that. Did I? Okay. We need to free some constraints here right now. We don't need to do it now, but we will. I guess I could do the same thing for that, but we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so essentially these are required for the physics engine. You can see we have a box collider now. Okay, the box collider is going to keep Larry from falling. That's what it's supposed to do. See, there we go. So that's the duty of the box collider. Without it, without the box collider, Larry has nothing to stand on. Okay, this is all good here, so nothing else to change. The only thing we do need to do though is, as a matter of fact, because that looks kind of funky, I'm gonna change this to, I want to use this one here, I think, in the future. We're gonna try it out. I need something to look at so that I can see where Larry's standing. Okay? The box collider's kind of going through, so you need to kind of lift it up a little bit. I didn't write down the values of my box collider earlier, but I should have, I guess. We'll just lift that up. Oh, we don't want to do that. So we actually have to adjust it, is what we need to do. Now, can I actually go right into this? Yes. Okay. We actually have to adjust our box collider here a little bit, guys. Make sure that it's at the bottom of his feet, because if it's not, he'll just fall through. He'll actually fall through that distance. Just so you guys know. Like, you can see the height of the box collider. He would actually fall that distance. Okay? So that's why I'm doing this with the box collider. Is that the one? Yeah, right here. Okay? It's got to be kind of I'm being a little particular, but I just want to see if he's actually going to drop a little bit. Let's see. No, not really. It's not too bad. So where I have it is actually kind of good. Size, yeah. Okay, now I don't recall if it should be this high or not. I don't recall. Just trying to look at these. You can see these little dots here. It's a lot easier if it's a prefab, you could actually go into kind of an edit prefab mode. I don't know how to explain that. It takes you into a different view in here if you edit it as a prefab. So a little bit more challenging doing it this way, but we'll try to make it work. It's funny. One thing looked like he had just a tooth. The way this was sitting there, it kind of looked like he had a singular tooth. It was kind of funny. Oh my goodness gracious. Working on a computer so much, doing this WASD. I recommend you guys have better arm support. Better arm support. Now, where are the... can't even see them. Where are they? Trying to look for the little dots. Barely even see them. It's the weirdest thing. Did I get out of edit mode? No wonder I'm having difficulties here. Somehow I got out of edit mode. Wow. Okay. Note to self, guys. Pay attention if you're still in edit mode. It's like, why couldn't I see anything? I couldn't even see. Well, no wonder. The thing's off. Sheesh Louise. Sheesh. I'm trying to line it up with his body a little bit. Trying to make it a little bit more realistic. You know what I mean? Because this is a collider box. So anything that's inside this box creates collisions. Okay? Yeah, I mean, that probably will be good enough. So let's just play it. You can be a little bit faster than I am, guys, at doing that, right? I know I'm being a little bit particular, right? So it's not too bad. We're just gonna leave it, okay? That's it, good enough. Okay, so now let's get into some stuff. So we need a scripts folder, okay? So I I clicked the assets folder, guys, and we're going to create a new folder called scripts. I guess you can call it whatever you want. You can call it code behind. You can call it whatever you want, right? You can call it Visual Studio Code. You could come up with your own naming conventions, right? Let's see, scripts. So now I click the actual scripts folder, right click, we're going to create a new C# script, and it's going to be called player controller. Player controller, okay? Yeah. Okay. So it gives you a generic script, and so at this point now, okay, so we have this is for Visual Studio, guys. This is going to be your C# code behind script. So in here, what we do is we're typing code so that we can make the player like give them some magic, some movement, right? That's essentially what we're doing. Okay, so what I could do now, okay, so now I created the script. So, but you have to actually, so just think of it this way. We created the script, we gave the script a name. Again, come up with a name that has to be uppercase. So anytime you change let's say you have two words with your C# script, it has to be, you got to stick to standard practices and naming conventions, guys. Okay, this is just all part and parcel. It's part of the industry. Okay, you might as well just jump on the bus and ride the bus with everybody else, right? Okay, so uppercase letter. Okay, now you have to come up with the name right from the get-go. Try to be original. You know, they say the hardest thing about coding is coming up with names. It kind of is, actually. So like variable names, and you know, like the name of your classes and such. This is what we've created is a class. Okay, this is what it's called. Now the name of it's important because that's the class name, guys. Okay, I just want to make sure that you guys can still hear me. How long has this video been for? We're already, an hour into it now, guys. How long should a video be, guys? To be honest. Oh, geez, I should have a direct link to my channel. How long has this video been for? We're already, an hour into it now, guys. How long? Okay, there. I just had to check to make sure you guys can still hear me. Okay, so getting back into this. So when you're creating your class, every class has uppercase first letter, uppercase for the second word. Okay. Now come up with a name and you can't change it. Well, you can, but you don't want to. Okay. And now I'll show you quickly what you can do to fix. Again, if you rename this later on, you're gonna have problems with your code because the name has to be the same. So let me just show you. So the first thing we're gonna do is we created the script. Now we got to give it to Larry. Okay, essentially that's what we got to do. Say, hey Larry, there you go. There's your script. Okay, so now we've given Larry his script. Okay, I guess the animator could stay there. That's good. Okay, so give Larry the script. Now we've done that. Let's open up Visual Studio. All I did was double click the I'll just show you here quickly. I just double clicked this. That's it. Okay, there we go. Here's the script up. We're in Visual Studio now. And we can swap between guys. No problem. Okay, there is other tab. You can tab and stuff, but I don't normally do that. I just kind of click in between. Okay, so if you notice, there's the script name. This is the class name. Okay, so if you change it, here, it doesn't get updated in here, guys. Okay, the name here must 100% must be exactly the same as this. Cannot be changed. Okay. So, but if you do decide to change it, okay, you're gonna have to like copy it and then go in here and then paste it there and then save it and update it. Okay, again, that's little tips and advice for you guys. This must be exactly the same as this. Uppercase and lowercase letters matter too. Alright? Okay, let's get into this. So they give you a little bit notes here. It'll be common. These are called comments. You'll see them all the time. Okay? Right? You could say a comment could be anything. Just trying to think of, I don't know, something like, I don't know, comments are just little notes. Comments, yeah, I'll just do that. Comments are just little notes for yourself, not just for yourself, but also not just for yourself. I'm not going to type all that, but also for those that are inspecting your code. Okay, let's say you're working in the industry or whatever. Okay, there you go. So they're just little, so comments, you don't want comments to be like all crazy like a story or a book. You kind of want to just put a little something that says what this does, because these are methods. Okay, hopefully you guys are learning C# or any like C++ or whatever. Myself, I recommend you learn the C language. That's just me. You choose whatever you want to learn. It's up to you. Okay, so this is called a method. Okay, a method is a part of a class. They're also called functions. Okay, they're called functions when they're outside of a class, but when they're inside of a class, they're called methods. It just is what it is. Now, something you'll get used to is you'll see this terminology called public, and there's one called private. Okay, now the reason it took me a minute to clue in, I'm like, why does Unity not have private there? Why are they doing that? Well, the reason is, maybe they have their own, because every company's kind of different. They're going to have their own standards, if you will. Like some companies have like a standard for the way you type this. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, right? So where the curly brackets are, right? Some companies are like that. There is a name for it. I don't want to get into it, but there's actually a name for this kind of different style. So there's a name for where the style where this curly bracket is here, and there's a name for the style where the curly bracket is there. I have the notes somewhere, but I don't want to get on a tangent. But they're K&N or something, I don't know. But every business has their own different kind of I'm just gonna call it standard or practices, coding practices or industry practices. Again, each company is going to be different, and you'll have no choice. You might as well just suck it up and concede. You have to follow the industry standards. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there for you. So with Unity, they don't use the private. Okay, now for myself, I'm like a little bit stubborn, I guess, maybe because I'm used to typing it. But they're private. Essentially, if it's not there, it's still private. Okay, that's why they don't type it. So anything that's not, like, you actually have to be explicit. Okay, so the point is if you want something private, you type private. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. We don't need it, but I'm just gonna do that. Okay, again, being explicit. So if you want to be explicit, you have to say public. Now this all has to do with access, being able to access information. All right, I'm gonna do my best not to get too deep into talking about this, guys. I just want you to learn. Again, I have a bunch of C++ videos. I've taught all this kind of. So, I need to use the washer. I gotta go. A little Johnny break. Anyways, not to get on a tangent, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to learn to code, I have C++ videos. I got 40 plus videos. Again, guys, they're not all 3-hour, 4-hour videos. There's some half-an-hour breaks and stuff. And great thing about YouTube, you can skip ahead, skip breaks, go to any part of a video that you want to watch. The last half an hour or hour of my live streams for coding, they're mathematics based stuff, so you don't really have to watch the ending. So essentially I have a good hour to 2 hours of C++ instruction each video. Okay, so if you want, feel free to check it out. I don't mind teaching you guys a little bit about the coding and such, and the terminology and all the little innuendos and nuances of coding, but that's not really what this video is. This video is more Unity and that, but I'll still talk a little bit about it. I don't mind, but I gotta also remind myself to not go on a tangent and stay focused. Okay. We're gonna leave it at that. Let's carry on. I was thinking of ending this video and starting again, guys, because I need to make more coffee and need a little Johnny break. Plus, I don't want to make the videos too long. I want people to be able to join and want to watch my content, right? I feel if the videos are 3-4 hours long, nobody's gonna click it, you know. I love the growth in the channel. I love seeing it grow, but I gotta think of, you guys too, right? Maybe you only have time in a day for a 1-hour video, right? Okay, little notes for you guys and gals. I'm gonna put some notes in here. There There we go. Okay. Just gonna go like this. Okay. There we go. I could leave that there, but whatever. Okay. So not to get into the details too much of it, but updates and start, those are common. They're part of the mono behavior. This is called inheritance. So our script here is inheriting from mono behavior. Okay. It's part of the Unity engine class. This is a class that Unity engine created. Okay. And every time you create your own script, it's going to have this start and update. Again, they're not saying private, but they are private. Anything that is typed within here, guys, is private. Okay? You have to be explicit if you want something public. We're getting into that, guys. I'm talking about it because we're going to be doing something in this little project here where you're going to need public access. And once we get to that point, I'll explain why. Okay? But just take note that anything inside these curly brackets, okay, is private. Okay? Unless you're explicit. You have to be explicit. Okay? Another reason why it's not typed as private is because, well, they are private. You don't need to type it, right? But I'm particular, and I like to see it there. I guess it's just something I'm used to. Okay. Let's make the player jump here quickly, and then we're going to end the video. Okay, so just to get into it, that's why we created a rigid body and a box collider. Box collider is so that the player has something to collide with. Again, the ground has its own box collider. That's why the player is not falling through the ground anymore, right? The player needed the box collider so that it could collide with the ground. That makes sense? As soon as we attached rigid body, which is part of the physics engine of Unity, as soon as we attached the rigid body, that gave the player to have an effect with gravity. Again, if I uncheck gravity, well, then he won't fall through, right? We can change these values here as well. We'll talk about that in a future video. Again, the box collider is required so that the player object has a reaction to the ground, right? It's kind of like us, right? You know, yeah, you just need it, okay? I don't want to get on a tangent about humans and walking on the street and gravity and whatever, but yeah, in Unity you need the box collider. The ground already has it, okay? It's already set up for us. Okay, but we're going to take advantage of using that rigid body for our code, okay? It's not going to work in our code if we don't actually attach a rigid body to our player, okay? It's required. It's part of the physics engine, guys. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is give the player, we need some code for the rigid body. Okay, player controller, where did I type that? Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna create a header here quickly. Okay. What, Bob? Bob, what are you doing to me? Hold up, guys. Not sure why it's doing that to me right now. Let's see this. We need a rigid body. Rigid body. This is private. Private. I'm just recalling. Private. Can have lowercase. I'm just thinking. I think yeah, I can get away with lowercase. Okay, there we go. That fixed it. It just wanted some information afterwards. Okay, there we go. Okay, so private rigid body. Again, this is part of a Unity Engine class. Control of an object's position through physics simulation. Okay. We need it in our code. Again, so this is just updating. We have attached the rigid body, and we need to be able to utilize it through the code, right? So we need this. Okay, this is just a variable name, right, that we could use. I think of it as like an object. Okay, so now rigid body. I'm gonna get into some other stuff here. I type my code a little bit different than what they show, so yeah, get component. We're gonna use a new what's called life cycle. Okay, guys, just trying to think. Do I have start in here at all? No, I'm not using start. So I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, you can delete it, guys. Don't worry. There's another life cycle method. Actually, I should have just went like this. Okay, don't delete that. Private void. It's called awake. And this is what you use for your rigid bodies. Okay. I have some notes on that, just in case you're wondering why I'm using that. Let's see if I can find the notes. What is awake? What does awake do? What is the awake? It's a method, guys. Again, it's part of the mono behavior we're inheriting. These are just some other methods that are inside this class. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, but they do different things. They have different functionality, right? Just like any method, it could do different things. So the awake method is great for component referencing as opposed to the start method, okay? For component referencing, right? This is a component. So that's why we're using it, guys, okay? You'll see people put it in the start. It's fine. You could do that. But recommended you use awake for component referencing, okay? Again, we're using our variable. Okay, we're going to assign it get component. Okay, we got to attach our rigid body to it. Our 2D or 3D, not 2D, 3D. Okay, and again, it's like a method. So, because a method is calling. Function, a method, they call, right? Okay. So we're calling this rigid body, all right? Control of an object's position through physics simulation. Okay, we're assigning this to this rigid body. Okay, all right. Next thing we do. We gotta add a force, okay? We're gonna make the player jump. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do some creating my own methods, because I'm actually typing things a bit different here, guys. So we're leveling things up, all right, over here. All right, so basically we're refactoring our own methods, okay? Our own personal methods is best. It's best coding practice, okay? All right. Now it should still work. Okay. Add force. Yeah. Just comparing my code here. I'm trying to do it step by step here. So private. Oh, goodness gracious, Sally on Sundays. Get with the program here. There it is. Okay. Just looking at the wrong code here. Private void move character. Okay. Creating our own method here, guys. That's what we're doing. Okay, and just so you understand. Awake, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. We don't need to do anything else in here. All right. And let me just put some other notes here. Okay, there. Just for you guys. Okay. And then, so we're gonna do another life cycle method, and that is under awake. Right here, yeah. No. Under update, yeah. Under update. Life cycle method. Okay. Just giving you guys some of the terminology, alright? Private, void, fixed update it's called. Okay, that actually autoed for me. Okay, let me just fixed update Unity. Okay, just to give you guys an idea, alright? What is fixed update in Unity? Okay, let's just go like this. Whoops. There we go. Okay, fixed update has the frequency of the physics system, okay? Again, it's part of the physics system. So it's called every fixed frame rate. Blah, what kind of what? Compute that. There's got to be a better definition. All physics calculations and updates occur immediately after a fixed update, right? There's kind of like an order of operations here. Okay? Just go forward. I'm on Unity's documentation right now. I'll probably put that in the comments for you guys. Or I could drop a link right now in chat. Oh, hey, Tech Dave. Oh, okay. I just seen your comment, Tech Dave. Apologies. I don't pay attention to chat much. Tech Dave, he's another supporter of the channel. Thank you for the recent follow, my friend. You're awesome. Yeah, it's the music's too loud. That's what it is. I can never tell how loud it should be, you know? Tech Dave, let's go! We're gonna throw it out there for Tech Dave. This is for you, Tech Dave. I gotta have a quick washroom break and make some more cafe. This is for you, Dave. Let's go. That's for you, my friend. And you're awesome. Appreciate the support on the channel. Like, I truly mean that. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that this link is also in chat comments for you guys. Okay. I apologize. I'm taking a little bit longer. This could be faster. I could show you guys the quick short code. I could do that, but I'm trying to, level things up here. Okay, guys, we're trying to learn and grow and have better coding practices. Talk about the little different methods and stuff. Level things up here a little bit. We're kind of going a little bit extra, a little bit further than because I could do the easy, simple stuff. I guess I could, right? But we're going to do more, okay? Is that music a little bit better? I could barely hear it now. It must be better. I know I can never tell if the music's louder than me or not. Hopefully you guys can hear me clear enough. It's awesome. Okay. Fixed update. Now the reason why I did that, we're talking about fixed update. I just deleted it. So set a force to a rigid body and it applies each fixed frame. Okay. Fixed update occurs at a measured time step that typically does not coincide with mono behavior. Okay, what does the regular update do? Regular update is called every frame, right? It says that. It's called every frame. Again, if you guys heard 60 frames per second, it's the image being thrown in your face 60 times per second. That's a lot. Think about it. That's how fast it's flashing in your face. It's computing. So every second, how long is a second, guys? 1,000 milliseconds. Okay, so the image is being thrown and changed in your face when you're playing a game. It's called like a frequency. You've heard of refresh rate and all that. It's usually in hertz or megahertz. A frequency is in hertz. Essentially, it's kind of similar and alike, but frames per second. So the image is being flashed in your face, and that's why you see the changes, right? The image is changing. I'm trying not to get too technical or too deep here, so sometimes I kind of have to stop myself. That's why I'll pause and not say anything, because I have to remind myself, don't go on a tangent. Okay, so update is called every frame. If the mono behavior is enabled, update is the most commonly used function to implement any kind of game script, right? That's why you'll see the update right here. It is, okay? And this is when you create your scripts, right? It'll give you the basic generic one, and then we double clicked and opened it here in Visual Studio, and it'll say this, right? It's giving you a little comment here. Update is called once per frame. Okay? So if you have 60 frames per second, update's being called 60 times per second. Is that right? I hope I said that right. Okay? All right. Okay, closing that. I got too many tabs going up here. That's why I'm taking a little bit longer, because I'm like, I got so many tabs and things up here. It's just like, oh my god. So again, we use fixed update. So fixed update here is better for, here we go. Okay, this is a good comment for you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one because I don't know what's up with that, but there you go. There. Okay, I put these comments for you guys so you're learning as well. Okay, life cycle method, that's what a fixed update is. It's better for handling physics. Can be called multiple times per update frame. Okay, we're going to use it for our movement. our character movement. So I'm being particular about which I'm using when we're creating this code. This code's going to be a little more advanced than what you see or come across with the learn.unity. Okay, guys? So this is going to take a little bit longer, and if you're here to learn and you want to learn, you found the right place. Okay, so I'm going to try to speed this up. Doing my best, guys. Also, you know, I'm trying to help you guys learn and grow too. So put your rigid body, when you create your rigid body and your variable name for your rigid body, put it in your awake. Okay, get your components in the awake method, AWAKE, awake. Okay. This here is going to be empty for now. I'll just put to do. Okay, we're going to get there. I am using the update, just not now. All right, so fixed update is going to use why do I keep doing that? I'm closing this. I keep going looking through the wrong script. Okay, there. Yeah. So I created this. We're going to do all our move character functionality in our own method. Okay? And the fixed update is going to run our method. Okay? That's what's happening. Okay, we're getting into this. So now we're going to use our rigid body. Okay? Now, I'm not going to do that yet, but I think I'm just going to do this. It should still work. So I'm going to go like, oops. I'm being lazy with my typing. Okay, there we go. There. Our rigid body. So now we're going to call our rigid body. Again, the rigid body, I look at it like an object. Now we're talking about coding here. Okay, if you're learning C# or C++ or whatever language in general, you're going to hear the term objects. Now there's objects we talk about in Unity, like this is an object, player is an object. This is called a game object, but I'll try to kind of go back and forth and help remind you guys. Here we're talking about coding objects, okay? To create an object, you essentially, like, you see this thing called newing up, but we'll get into that another time. So here, basically that's why we new up, create an instance. I look at this as an object. Objects, as soon as you hit the dot separator, you have access to other methods. And what else do you have? You have access to, I'm just trying to think, wrenches or setters, getters. I'm just trying to remember. I think I'm just gonna tab this. They got, yeah, getter, setter. Okay, that's what the wrenches are. So we have access to the getters and the setters. These purple ones are methods. Okay, but the one we're going to access is add force. Okay, that's what we want. The add force method. So that we're using the physics engine now, essentially. Okay, again, we're in a 3D world. I know this is called 2.5D, I guess. But however you want to look at it. We've created a 3D project here. Okay, so in this case, we're using vectors. It's a vector 3, guys. Okay, vector 3. And there's a nice little shortcut here, and it's called up. Okay, obviously we know what up is, right? And then we're going to multiply it by a value, but I want to just quickly show you guys here. So this is a little quick, nice little shortcut that Unity created for us. It's part of the vector class. Here you can see it's a getter, and it's shorthand for writing vector. So obviously we're working in 3D, X, Y, and Z, right? So X, Y, Z. Y is up, right? So looking here, Y is the green one. Okay. Y is green, up. Okay, let's see. I'll just position so you can see them all. Okay. Y, this is Z, and this is X. Okay, Y is vertical. Okay, so that's what the up is. So they gave it a value of 1. It's all part of the code behind when they created it. It needs some sort of value. Again, we're doing multiplication here, right? So we're multiplying, you know, anything that gets multiplied by 1 will give you the same value. So, but it's also a direction for the system. So the system knows which direction that it should go. Okay? Try to, that's about the most basic description I'll give you guys for that. Okay, but I want to actually create, because I'm used to, we're going to multiply this vector up by a value, okay? But I want to actually I want to create a variable, right? Because I could put just any random number here. I could. Okay. Multiply is the asterisk, which is the 8. Okay, on your keyboard. If you hold shift, okay, that's the multiplication symbol. We can't use X in coding because, well, X could be a variable, right? So that's why the asterisk is used for multiplication in coding. Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to do another header here. Oh, my caps lock. Leave me alone. Header. Okay. I'm just going to call it movement. Speeds. You can name your headers. There's just a title, guys. That's all it is. Okay. Serialized fields. Okay. And so a serialized field's great, guys, because if you've been following along, remember we're talking about public and private accessors. Okay, the program doesn't like what I'm doing there, so I'm just going to go like this. Okay. When you type public, you'll automatically get access to the information here in your inspector, okay, within your code. Okay, you'll see it be put here. Here's our code that's attached to our player. Okay, we gave it we gave it to Larry. His name is Larry. You know, so you guys know he's businessman Larry. Okay, so if you type public, you won't. Well, really, you don't need the serialized field. But I'm putting serialized field so that we could actually have it here. I'm a little bit particular. I like using private accessors. Okay. I'm just particular, guys. We're going to use a float. Float is a decimal value. Hopefully you guys know this. Okay. And it's private. So M is for member. Jump force. The values I'm going to give it. I'm going to actually declare. So I declared it. A float. I gave it a variable name. Okay. And the value I'm going to use for now is 14.715. I know it's random, but what it is this. Whoops, I gotta end. We're doing C# here, not Python. It's hilarious. 1.5 multiplied by gravity. I use these values just to give me kind of a feeling. I use it for a feeling and a sense of with my coding, right? Okay, there we go. So I created a variable. I've initialized it. Declare, initialize. Declare, initialize. Declare, initialize. Okay? So instead of typing a random value, I'm just going to do this. There we go. Boom. Okay, rigid body, add force, multiplied by our private variable, which has a value assigned to it, stored in memory, and there we go. Okay, is it going to do anything yet? No, not really. So let's go back to our code here, or our little game here. We can run it, but we don't have any user inputs yet, okay? But Larry! Larry! Where's Larry going? Larry! You know why, guys? Because we're applying a force, okay? Larry, wait for me! Whoa! I went right past him. I lost him. Larry! Larry, wait for me! Larry! Where is he? He must be going. Larry, there's not much oxygen up there. Just letting you know. Come back down to Earth, brah. Okay, so Larry is now affected by gravity, okay? And why that's happening, guys, is because we're applying a force, and it's in the vector up direction, okay? I'm gonna have a quick break, guys. Like, give me, obviously, if you're watching this when it's not live, you know, but I'm going to do another live stream here after. We're going to continue this, guys. I need a quick break, washroom break, need more coffee. I don't want to pause and, you know, go on break or anything like that. I'm just going to end the stream and start it again. You yourself, have a quick break yourself. I appreciate you being here. Tech Dave? Yeah, that's right. You bet. Give me like, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes, okay? And I'll be live again. I appreciate you being here, brother. You're awesome, Tech Dave. Let's go! Guys, turn it up for Tech Dave! Yeah! I love it. Alright, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Viewers, subscribers, every single one of you awesome. Let's go! You guys are awesome. I'll see. That's it. Johnny's all excited, but I need the shaddy yaddy. I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, Johnny's saying peace out. Peace.